so much. Here we are on Overpass. It is a pretty strong map for SK Gaming and CLG alike. So they leave it in the pool, and that's what it lands on. I think both teams right now, well, with the map choice, have to be feeling good, but after their performances yesterday, maybe not so much.
Yeah, maybe not so much. Here we have SK going into what looks like something pretty set. They got a couple of Molotovs, 4 flashes, and a pair of smokes as well. And it looks like it's going to be a straight B hit. A lot of running going on right here. And they're out into the site. Tarek actually lets a player pass, gets a nice one-tap, a couple of them actually, and that's a very decent site hold. These smokes are going to dissipate with not too many players to defend the site, and that's 3 kills on the round already for Tarek. The bomb goes down, and only 2 remain. He's actually on for the ace, and he's in a pretty good spot to do it, but JDM finds the first frag, and now there's only Freeze left alone with very low HP, and Tarek's on the hunt.
Wow, Magic's Boy even putting some of that damage on there. And CLG going to get off to a great start on what is generally thought of as a CT-sided map. But Launders, I know you have some reservations about that.
Yeah, I think I think the map can be very T-sided. You know, again, it's going to be a matter of the terrorists having to break the economy of the CTs. But more importantly, is if you have a team of CTs that like to play very, very passively, they don't do well on this map, and so sometimes you can get a team rolling, and you can have a couple of teams that both do extremely well on the T side. And it's not uncommon to see 9-6 halves go both ways.
Well, great start to this day by Tarek. One of the players called out, of course, for underperforming yesterday, but there's the impact frags and a pistol round to start things off great for CLG, and now on to round 2. What have SK Gaming put into it? Not too much, as they did get that bomb plant, so no armor bought up, just some upgraded pistols, and CLG do have 2 high-powered rifles, and even the quite expensive P90 going to come out on Fugly. JDM and Hayes just trying to farm up the money.
Ironically enough, like busting out long with a couple of pistols, if you do manage to push one player back into the site, you can get into the bathrooms, which is a really nice spot for pistols to be in. And so not going straight out to balloons and then crossing the bathrooms is actually sometimes a better idea. And yeah, now they've got like a little bit of forward A control, but we have a 3-stack towards A because 2 players is enough to defend B site, and if you put 3 on A versus pistols, you can stop the bomb from going down, which is just going to be your goal in the round on CT.
SK Gaming unable to find anything yet. They were hoping maybe they could get into a close angle there in the bathrooms and find an opening pick, perhaps get a gun in their hands, but they come out empty-handed and now are looking to put their sights back on B site. Tarek, though, watching through Monster, this could be very, very bad for SK Gaming. Potential big spray down moment here from Tarek.
Always interesting to see players holding angles that they've tried before, and there's that first frag falling off to look for another kill, and turns it into a multi-kill with that 3rd one and a 4th to top it off, and it looks like our boy Tarek is on fire.
The Eco Cobra there, Tarek, so 3 kills in the pistol rounds. Those were not quite as impactful, but still coming away with the 4K, 7-0 right now. He's got to be feeling pretty good. SK Gaming, keep in mind, planted on the first round, so the rifle comes earlier, and it might hit harder because Counterlogic Gaming are still going to be on 2 SMGs, MP7 and the P90. The op will come out for JDM, so now it's time to see what he's going to be about today with his signature weapon.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we have Fugly out here with a P90 just to support the op to take a peek, and then they're both going to fall off. I think Cutler jump spotting long here means that with this information, I think he can have someone rotate off for him, but no, JDM actually still holding forward aggressive bathroom control, and Cutler, after getting that info, is going to fall off and support his teammates.
All right, so we can see SK Gaming going for the default. They really like to work up middle early on and have the bomb kind of focused towards A with Pimp. He's going to almost always be lurking here in the stairs. And then you've got Madi. He's going to be the lurker over at B. And he's very good on this map. Even when he has the lurk at B, he's got his timing downs to push into the site, get a kill as the CTs try to rotate away, or even if he's in charge of selling the fake, he's generally good for an entry kill. And it makes that fake look very real.
We saw the T side of SK be very strong on Train yesterday. They staged quite a comeback. I mean, it was almost a comeback in the sense that they brought it back to 13 rounds, I think, but couldn't actually close it out. And here we have Madi leading the walkout long, and Hayes timing a pop flash at the right moment.
Looking for another one, but he doesn't get it. And here's Tarek moving into position with the triple spray down coming out the end of a M4A4, and it's closed up shortly thereafter. So CLG will take the first rifle round one, where they were actually, they had the lesser weapons going into it.
Yeah, I mean, they put that MP7 to work, got a kill for him, and then Tarek with a 3K spray down. I mean, basically had to line it up, get full blind, but knows that there aren't many angles that someone can come out a monster from. So hopefully, if he gets the first person and that person doesn't wide peek and trade him out immediately, it's pretty much the same as not being blind. But what we see from SK, which is really interesting, is like a really good routine every single round, and that's to work out to A, clear out bathrooms, and then fall back to stairs, leaving one person anchoring the other site in the meantime, so they have their options open. So and I would expect to see them continue to follow that routine.
So Fugly starts things off extremely aggressive. Must have had a good forward spawn. He peeks up to Fountain, watches those little stairs as the terrorists are coming out of the upper tunnels. Immediately gets a kill onto Asilian. That dropped the bomb and disrupted things a little bit for SK. Cutler peeking out to long just to see if the coast is clear. Finds Freeze, kills him. Fugly, and then Cutler again. That's going to be a 2K for each of those guys. Pimp the last one up. Also at long, can do nothing. Fugly with the 3K there against the ecoing SK Gaming.
When will Tarek die is the question. 10-0 so far, 4 rounds in. Now SK have their full buy, opting not to go for the AWP, and instead just getting full nades and a lot of weapons. So once again, we saw a couple of rounds where they went out to bathrooms, cleared stuff out, and then fell back to B. Will this time they go and do the same thing but continue on to A, or will they decide not to clear it out at all?
Yeah, so once again, setting up into their default here is SK Gaming. Bomb and one other going to look to quickly push a player. That was Fugly who got pushed out of the bathrooms over towards the long side. JDM still holding in short with his op. Doesn't actually have any support. He's in kind of a dangerous spot. Let's see how quickly Fugly, it looks like he wants to push out long and come around the other way. That's still being watched here by Freeze, but he's pop flashed. Nice teamwork there by CLG. That takes Freeze out of the round. And JDM, beautiful shot. Gets Magic's Boy jumping, hits the headshot even through the wall.
Yeah, and that's what it does come down to sometimes, that those beautiful shots. But Fugly getting that push, getting that info, and creating that conclave over around balloons means a lot for his team. I mean, JDM is getting that kill, is the icing on the cake, but now it's a 5v3, and CLG can pretty much recede back into the sites, and they don't have to play that kind of what can be scary forward bathrooms control that we see so often from CTs on this map.
Now, Monty, Pimp, and Asilian, 3 versus 5, trying to figure out what they can do. Monty's going to move over to the stairs door. Well, the door's gone now. Nade's going to take it down. Sandbag's still smoked off. He'll look to try to find the entry there, something that we might be seeing him do quite a bit once they try onto the B site a little bit more, maybe quicker in a force-up round or a B-centric play. Tarek, though, not dying today. What does that make? 11 for him. Pimp coming up the backside. And Tarek with another 2. Both Pimp and Asilian were already pretty low. The man's 13 and 0.
Wow.
And look at the kills on SK.
Wow. Wow. A kill apiece apart from Asilian. That's it. Everybody on SK only has
4 kills in total.
4 kills in total, yeah. That's pretty crazy. I mean, Tarek has absolutely been having a field day over at B, and making it really hard. I mean, his aim just looks on point. Almost every time he shoots his first bullet, it's a dink.
Okay, and already this could be getting scary. It is only the 5-0, but SK Gaming just unable to even do any damage, and this is the side of Overpass that they prefer. They get about 64% of the rounds on the T side of Overpass, and CLG are just bringing it to them. Fugly again going to find the first opener. Now JDM from the bathrooms again, not really with any support. I mean, I guess a few men further back into the A site can maybe pop flash him out of there, but he won't even need it for now. CLG against the Tech-9 Armor find themselves up 5-3.
Tarek looking to set a record. I just want to keep an eye on him for this whole game. But not only is he, I mean, I suppose playing safe, he's taking fights, he's just winning every single time by a huge margin. I don't think he's even taken a lot of damage in total. So here we have Cutler spotting long, and again, it's, you know, SK that have to be on these constant saves. 3 smokes in their hands, but with 3 players at A, it probably won't make much of a difference.
Well, JDM going to get one, and then going back to fight fire with fire. P250 against Tech-9, it won't work out. Tarek gets a kill onto Pimp, has not died. That'll be Cutler that goes down. Tarek, man, he's just in the best position every round, rotating in to find the players already low, and just his teammates are making his life easy. Tarek, of course, set the tone early on with his 7 kills in 2 rounds, but 15-0 right now.
Really appreciate how CLG on that first rifle round noticed that SK were going to go into this routine where the default that they like to do most often is where they send at least 3 players up to bathrooms in. Instead of just letting them clear it out and then fall off to B like they've done in the past, get them while they're in their in the process of committing to this routine that they are so comfortable doing. Take them out of their comfort zone. And here's a full B hit to change up the speed. Pimp gets the kill on Tarek, and he goes down for the first time this game.
Dream is dead of the perfect game, and there we go. CLG still fighting back. They've lost Tarek. Fugly getting one more before he goes down. 3-on-2. Bomb here for SK Gaming. Still not planted. They try to change up the pace of things, going quick into B. Magic's boy. There you go. Someone that's going to need to step up if SK Gaming are going to get themselves back into this match. He's got a 2K here as they worked into the B site, but still no one's planted. The bomb is down, and it's under CT control, so it will not be an easy way out for SK Gaming here on round 7.
2v2s are what make or break with teams at this level, and we see so often that the communication fall apart for lesser teams versus more experienced ones, even ones when they have the health advantage. But Freeze comes out with the op shot to make it a 1v2, and now it's all up to Fugly. He gets mollied off on short. They don't exactly know that he's here, but this is one of their options, and they can also plant for short with this molly, but I'm not sure if they're going to put the bomb down quite yet. Freeze has found a safe spot to do it, and Magic can just watch his flank. Now, Fugly's got a tough retake on his hands.
Well, they're not going to expect him to be behind those sandbags already because of the Molotovs. He went in there, actually took some damage, but that really paid off. Oh, they will spot him as he's creeping down. Magic's boy going to find his 3rd kill there from Monster. Did a great job opening up the site, and SK Gaming, well, they avert disaster. They find themselves around. Let's see if they can do anything more with it.
It's probably no coincidence that SK find their first round on the same at the same time that Tarek gets entered for the first time, especially at B. And it's good to see that they're not afraid to run into him as he's been in beast mode so far. Let's see how Counter Logic Gaming respond. Once again, Tarek, or JDM, excuse me, going for this this forward pick at Fountain, and the same default we're seeing from SK, where JDM gets smoked out once again, but I think he's fully expecting this. This time, however, 2 support riflers at long. That's Cutler and Fugly. We're going to kind of tether off each other here and try to get frags. It's scary playing this close up, right? One of you behind the rock, one of you behind the tree, but there's nowhere to fall off.
Fugly wants to go in for more. Oh, that's because the flash was coming, and he's able to get out of there. Please, Fugly, just retreat. He's done his work. Now they need to get out of here. Not a lot of cover at long, but some more fire and some more flashes go out, and they are able to fall back, maintaining a 5 versus 4. Now CLG can give up some map control and afford to play a bit more passive in the sites. JDM, though, still pretty far forward over on the bathroom side of things.
We've certainly been watching demos, and you can tell they have the correct response, really good timing on those flashes, and it's all paying off in dividends. Now, Pimp's up the stairs. I mean, he hasn't been able to be useful because CLG have completely avoided stairs and still managed to find an opening kill, keep map control, get a man advantage nice and early, and now there's 38 seconds remaining where there are a couple of smokes on the board for SK, but they don't know what the best site is right now.
Yeah, I like that you pointed out. Pretty clear that CLG have watched some demos because SK Gaming, on almost every single strat they run that isn't extremely fast, they have either Freeze, usually Freeze with an op, sometimes Magic's boy, always sitting in playground and watching long. So they've got that flash planned out, and it's been effective 2-3 rounds. We've seen it, but now the kill's coming out. Fugly's going to go down. It's looking good until Cutler comes in behind, brings both Pimp and Madi down. CLG man advantage, and the time is so low in the red, trying to plant, but Tarek rotating up again at a great time. Gets that final frag, and it's 7-1 in favor of CLG.
Is this the CLG we saw yesterday, or is this a new CLG?
Could be a new CLG. Could be SK Gaming falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, SK Gaming also felt like went off or started out to a bad start yesterday on train and came back. That was on their coming back on their T side. As you mentioned, uncharacteristic of SK to give up this many rounds this early on their T side of Overpass, a map that they were fairly comfortable on. But CLG firing on all cylinders right now.
I mean, SK Gaming were very underwhelming. You expect them to take that train match against Vexed, and Vexed actually coming out of that best of 1. I mean, not the best team in the world, like tier 3 team if you look at it in terms of just the Polish squads, but they looked really good yesterday, and that could have just been because SK Gaming was falling flat, but still, there is a lot of time in this match. This round's not gone well. I don't think there was a lot put into that, no. Definitely an eco round for SK Gaming.
Yeah.
So CLG, another one.
Another one. Not much to say there.
Not even meaning to put those in there, but it's
one.
pretty tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Khaled always looming over us.
Exactly.
But yeah, you eco that many times, it's like you run out of eco ideas. I mean, you've definitely run a few different strategies, but in the match, you can't really plan for having to do that many, because even on your rifle rounds, when you're failing that hard, it's just you mostly spend the next ones or the next ecos talking about what you can change up differently on your rifles, and so it's a matter of delaying a little bit and obviously trying not to get destroyed, do a little bit of economic damage.
Oh, wow. SK Gaming, it looks like trying to adapt here. Like, all right, we've been getting that pop flash over long. It's been hurting us. We're going to try to throw it right back in the face of CLG, give them a taste of their own medicine, but CLG are nowhere in the vicinity to even taste it. They were playing over on the short bathrooms with some nice crossfires, cone fires set up, and now they're able to back off into bank. I think that is Fugly that went there. Cutler and JDM supporting each other on the short side of A.
Ooh.
And there's the first kill coming in from JDM with that op. He brings down Pimp. Cillian, though, finding the entry, gets that op down. Will they expect Cutler in the same exact area? Doesn't look like they will. Maybe going to turn around and change their approach. Of course, the rotations are pretty fast for the terrorists as well as they maintain stair control.
Yeah, this round could go either way. Freeze
Cutler
is already up
in
to
a
the
game-winning position, but only able to get the one spray down. Fugly now behind the truck, able to give a quick repeat, supported by flashes, and Fugly coming out with 2 kills.
Yeah, just like Cutler to be in a great position as usual. Can always count on him to get that one frag at the very minimum. And CLG off to a 9-1 start. That was the closest SK Gaming got to, in my mind, to being able to win a round, apart from the one they did at B. They pressed their map control, applied pressure, had Freeze, walked all the way up, but his teammates couldn't meet him halfway, and Cutler took their attention away, got a kill, and really put their hopes in the drain.
What is happening? Where is the Pimp that I cast in the last chance qualifiers for Europe? He was looking like the most godlike rifler I've seen in a while. And then here, no one on this team is present right now. I don't know what's going on. And another easy one for CLG.
It's hard to say. Yeah, maybe the fire's not burning right now. I mean, you tend to see teams that
like
are
pressure, land jitters.
I mean,
They're pretty experienced players on this team. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, there is a lot on the line, right? This is their last opportunity to qualify for the major. I mean, they'd still have a best of 3 after this if they lose, or if they won, excuse me. But if they lose, they're out. So it could be nerves. At the same time, CLG should be equally as nervous and are playing, are just completely on fire.
CLG should be really nervous. I mean, they were the team involved on the bad end of an upset yesterday, losing to Splice.
Wow.
But here they are. Maybe that's what really motivated them. Who knows? Hopefully there'll be an interview after this game where we can kind of ask them what maybe CLG did last night to prepare for today, and maybe the talks that they've had amongst themselves. But here, CLG, SK Gaming, it's another full-on rifle round, and CLG with the 4-2 advantage already. It was Cutler that got a big 3K.
Yeah, the amount of times that one player on CLG have gotten a multi-kill, it's just too high. There's just way too many times where no trades come out, and that's really going to hurt your confidence, because you can come out with a peak and everyone can be in a great space, and you can see from the bodies on the ground that they were ready to trade. But if one player can just take all of you down, it's just going to hurt your confidence so much, because strategically you can only do so much. If you can't hit shots and you can't hit trades, I mean, not getting the entry is one thing, but the player behind you not getting the refrag is kind of unforgivable in Counter-Strike.
This bomb's pretty much locked up in Fort Knox right now. It's down at the opening of Long. They've got 2 people set up in the rock tree formation watching the bomb, one watching short bathrooms, and another watching anyone that might have come up from the CT stairs area. But no, Cutler will just find him out. And Cutler with the ace.
Wow, a huge ace. Just with that silence M4, getting the 3K spray down, and then 2 to finish it off. CLG up to 11-1, and this isn't one of those close 11-1s. This is just straight dominance from CLG. Pretty exciting stuff, though. It's not even like players melting apart in a slow default. It's like multi-kills from Tarek, multi-kills from Cutler, JDM getting 2 or 3 op kills in a round.
Okay, SK Gaming back at it again. They've got some flashes, 2 smokes, 2 Galils as well. It's not a well-funded round here from the Danish side, as Asilian will be able to bring down Cutler, so that's a nice opener to have. Asilian is generally someone that grants this. Actually, both of those guys big on the entry frags for SK, and here they go, stepping up to the plate. Hayes making his rotation in. Good flash will slow the forward progress of SK, but Asilian able to sneak into that smoke and get that bomb down as Monty's going to die with the nade out. He goes down for free. Asilian spotted, his head coming over that sight box, nearly taken off there by Hayes. So it's up to Hayes and JDM trying to do this 2 versus 4. It looks like SK Gaming might have found themselves a second round, or have they? Okay, JDM goes down as he peeks out of bank, and now it's just Hayes playing here in the close wedge, and Pimp will push in, take him down. 2 rounds, SK Gaming.
Now, SK in this moment have to be thinking, how can we replicate that success? They went through the stairs, which has been open to them every single round. I wonder if CLG, what their response will be as well, because they have left stairs open almost every single round. It just hasn't been a problem for them. They're getting kills early at long, they're getting kills early at bathrooms, and they're making it scary no matter where SK go, even though stairs is completely given up. But if SK goes stairs one more time, what is the play from CLG? And it looks like they're going to go out to B, and I think they're going to try to keep up the speed because their slow strats haven't been working. And here's Pimp looking at entry on short.
Yeah, smokes are going down. You can see the wall across the catwalk there, sandbags cross, and the site. But Hayes is going to bring down one, and Tarek, he's been so strong in this game, now getting tested again here over at the B site. Drops his smoke, is able to get 1 kill, drops the bomb down, but SK Gaming continue to fight back. They've got a man advantage 3-2, but Fugly in a round-winning position here. Ooh, gosh, that got a little bit messy, but 6 bullets left over to fight again. He'll get the reload, and now we're into a 2-on-2.
Yep, another super important 2-on-2. We saw SK win the last one, and you know, might be the late round that's the hardest for CLG, but it looks like Fugly gets the first kill instead of being left alone in the situation. And now it's a 1-on-1. Madi spotted. JDM with the op. I think it's understood from Madi where he's rotating from, but has to be concerned about Heaven. And we'll take his time here. 46 seconds. Crossing with the bomb. The shot is missed from JDM.
That's a shot you can't miss.
Lined it up perfectly. Madi walked right into it. Completely caught him off guard. And look, getting just a higher position here instead of crossing outwards, and actually finds a way to fall in the pit without exposing himself.
Yeah, really just looking to buy time. And oh, JDM's going to switch out weapons, goes to the M4, and it's fully loaded. Did a little bit of damage even with the 5.7. That even things up at half HP, but Madi peeks out and finding a 4K there. So big individual effort on that round for Madi. Steps up, gets SK Gaming their 3rd round, but CLG, they still have quite enough money.
Yeah, it puts SK in a really good spot though for this round to get the 11-4 half, and you know, to see that SK got the rounds at the end of the half, you know, it means something more for them than it does just looking at the match suddenly as an 11-3 or an 11-4. So CLG are going to definitely want to try to steal back this momentum moving into the second half and have a 12-3 lead, because that would be a far more dominant, and I'm sure give them a lot more confidence. JDM getting caught out of position though, tried to fall off through that flash and just got trapped on that wall. Gets 1 kill for his efforts, and they're still up 4-3, but the op is in the hands of SK, and there it is, Fugly, to make a difference in the momentum of that forward aggressive bathroom control. Monty creeping his way up the stairs, but they don't have much to work with at this moment.
No, they don't, and they've even got to, you know, double back for the bomb. It's bound down back by Fountain. Looks like it was dropped there, so Madi is going to go to work. He'll find a kill onto Cutler, and Freeze also still moving forward. Actually, Madi's gone back for the bomb. Freeze going to get that shot baited, and actually he took a ton of damage himself, down to 13 HP now.
Yep,
and Tarek is maybe thinking about making the play, starting to get inquisitive over there at stairs. Will he open the door?
Sure, he wishes the door was open. I mean, he just has the rotation right here. Even if they walked long B late into the round, he could just hang out and have a really great retake spot. So no reason for him to aggress any further. And there's Monty to go down. Freeze left alone, 13 HP. Ooh, actually starts out this 1v3 with a kill. That's a 1-tap.
Oh no, hitting the bed of the truck there, or the hitch. I'm not sure what the correct term is, but that doesn't find himself a kill. He knew exactly where a player might be sitting, had that angle, but aiming a little low, unfortunate. The round still would have been very difficult from that point anyways, and it's CLG that just has a dominant CT performance, 12-3, and I touched on it a little bit earlier when we were playing in the first half. It's SK Gaming that generally win most of their rounds on the T side. It was something about 63-64% of the rounds found on the T side, and that's against strong opponents, you know, European, some tier 1, tier 2 opponents. And now you come here and CLG just walked all over you.
Yeah, I mean, starting out slow, SK have been no stranger to that this tournament, but at the same time, it's going to be equally as hard as it was for them yesterday to come back and try to summarize a victory here. I don't know, like what clicked in CLG's head after last night's talk. I'm sure SK had similar talks, tried to go over stuff, but Overpass seems to be their map today. And now we're going to get right into the pistol. This time we see, just like we saw in the first half from SK, a little bit more utility on the side of the terrorists. Asilian, the only one on the CT side with a kit and a smoke.
Well, something that might be good for SK is their pistol round win percentage is 72% on the CT side of Overpass, and CLG were about 44% on both of their sides. So going on how the match has went so far, it might not matter. CLG just feeling very dominant, but SK Gaming, their track record of CT pistols is strong, and they're going to need that here. Asilian goes for the kit and a smoke, armor on everyone else, utility on Hazed, Cutler, and Glock's armor for the rest.
Oh, this is so nice. I actually love this from CLG. They're using Tarek to just try to put a little pressure on Bathrooms, clear it out by himself, but then have everybody already at B, so the rotate doesn't have to take too long to get to the other site, and they can scare CTs into staying 3A, and even though the rotations are short, bait them into holding for too long. And here the flashes are coming out, the smokes are coming over, and everybody's in a retake spot. And oh my god, the smoke missed! Madi actually shooting and killing somebody over the smoke because of it, and that is a huge misstep. Will it cost him the round? Pimp getting another frag as well, and now it's 3v5 with the bomb down. Yeah,
they find out the smoke missed, and the bomb's able to get into the site. So they didn't have to keep aggressing there, but then it was okay. Now they're in a bit of trouble, though. SK Gaming with 5 up, and they've completely retaken the site. Freeze gonna get the shot at the Tarek. Pimp finds Cutler, and okay, there you go. The strong CT pistol from SK Gaming. Not even a single member gonna fall there.
I mean, that smoke is critical, and you could see, and it's actually not even hard smoke to throw. So nope. I mean, it's a pretty big misstep on the part of CLG. I hate to see that come back and haunt them, but it is on the pistol round, and I don't know what CLG will opt to do. They do have a lot of leverage because they planted the bomb, whether or not they want to use that, and so they are just going to go for a mostly Glock save or S3P250, but no armor, no nades, or anything like that because they plan to buy next round.
Yeah, so it'll be a little similar to how the first half started out. The rifle round showing up in round 3 of the second half. You can see SK Gaming bought a little heavier in a response. They've gone to 4 rifles right away with just the MP9 onto Freeze, who's hoping to just mow down some opponents and be able to afford the op right away in round 3. CLG given a lot of room to work with, though. And here's Freeze with that MP9. Gets 2 kills, 1,200 bucks for him. It pays for itself. Although any kills that happen, okay, it's just the submachine gun that goes down. So great round from SK as they make their comeback.
Yeah. It is a great round. It's a money building round. If they lose too many there, they can't hold the M4s that they had dropped. So it's very important that no one died there. And CLG, just as expected, are going to be buying up. I don't know why Tarek has a Galil when he's 21-6. Someone should probably swap him out here. But I think he's going to try to make it work. I mean, he's got more nades than anything else.
Yeah, I really don't understand that. Like,
I mean, you just got to
give this man an AK.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to put the ego away. Just be like,
exactly.
This guy's on fire. Like, take my AK.
Take my AK, take my energy, like, whatever you need.
Yeah.
As Pimp in the stairs control. They've actually pushed down. So there was definitely, you could tell that CLG didn't really bother with stairs all that much, but SK Gaming, they were always kind of watching it. Presence there on the T side, and the same thing here. They really prefer that aggressive defense on Overpass, and they've set up, you know, backs to each other there for the crossfire, or watching each other's backs, I guess is the better way to put it. One watching party, one watching down on the stairs, and that falls apart. Fugly's able to get in and get out.
Ooh, Fugly going to get caught out here by Pimp, who tried to re-aggress stairs. A really nice play from him, and they got a lot of information at this point. But Tarek's already in the site, pushing the bank, and he's looking to find this frag. It should be super important. I wonder if he would have got that kill with the AK. We'll never know. But trying to do as much damage as possible as the entry man. And now they've got a little bit of map control, but it's a 2v4, and the bomb goes down. And it is Tarek alone in the bank with Cutler actually right beside him. Kind of an awkward crossfire. I wonder how much it'll pay off. They might try to push and get control. Unless they're expecting another challenger, but it seems not yet.
Pimp's going to go down. I don't even think they're sure from where. That was actually from long. Pimp was coming up and able to see Tarek. Now Cutler's going to back off. They just killed one bank, so they won't expect another one. Oh, wow, how does Cutler even react to that? Now Freeze comes over the green bin with the op, brings him down, and able to get the defuse in the nick of time.
That was nice, and so it begins. SK off to a rounds in a row lead where, you know, CLG, they did a lot of damage. They got the bomb down. It wasn't a completely horrific round for them. They did come out to the site with a man advantage, and that quickly dissipated. But I think, both teams are kind of in a decent spot at this point. SK won that round with the majority of their players alive, which means that if they do that one more time, they'll have buys left over in case they lose. But CLG will have to eat this eco, take one to the chin, and look to pick up a 17th next round. Or as
I have no idea what you're saying.
I don't know. That's the math right there. 17th.
We're not math majors. We're just CS:GO commentators.
A 13th next round. 17th.
I don't know. Maybe time to talk about the T side of CLG and perhaps what we can infer from their past performances. They've actually got a pretty even overpass. 51% of the rounds on CT side and 50% of their T side rounds won. So you would expect them, based on the numbers, to be able to close this out. But SK Gaming winning the pistol, getting the next one, surviving through that first rifle, which came early, which can always be a struggle for the CTs to deal with. And so far SK Gaming looking pretty good on the CT side, but man, it was a rough showing in that first half.
Yeah. And now they're pushing up to A. We have, who is it? Freeze just back here in the bank. Going to do some damage. Fuzzy actually getting that entry is huge. If Freeze goes down, that could be a huge problem for them. And oh, it's actually Madi to get the trade and GDM to Glock him.
Oh my goodness.
No, and GDM gets another kill. Unbelievable. Not a round they should have come close to losing. The eco, we have Hayes with no armor, JDM with no armor.
And Madi knows that bank is compromised. He's like, all right, they're going to be coming down the stairs, but it's his teammate who's in critical HP that comes down first, and he just shoots him, and then he gets glocked.
Expectations, Ellie giggle.
So there's that 13th, and what a way to lose that. Just when we thought things were looking okay for SK, it falls apart, and they kill themselves. They played themselves, Launders.
Congratulations to SK. Wow, they're now they have dug themselves in a deep hole. That is just so much economic damage. I didn't even factor that in as a possibility for how that how the outcome of that round would go. I mean, it was just talking about how CLG were gonna have to take that one to the chin, but instead they come right round and steal the momentum back. And I think you're actually Fugly dealing with someone in stairs. It's Monty to hear him and what's going on, but can't really do anything about it, and so stairs control is still theirs.
And with how hard of a reset that is onto the economy, if CLG are able to close it out from this point, or even just win it and a few more, like you look back, that's the round where everything fell apart for SK Gaming. Can they come back from that? Freeze has died on this one, and they have gone in for a force up here.
Now, in the position that Magic Boy is actually in, he should be able to get this kill. Wow, it takes a lot of damage for it, but can't really escape from this position, which might be a problem for him, except there is no one there to trade the frag, and that makes you wonder what CLG want to do off of this play. Here's a nice boost from JDM.
If they did that faster, there was no way Magic's Boy gets out of there, but since they had that smoke on the short side of A, and Madi going to catch a man cycling through his nades, that's going to be Hayes who goes down. Magic's Boy also with his CZ will find JDM, and okay, SK Gaming going to strike back off of this force buy. Bomb still about to be planted here, just going to make sure no one can run up on him as he's typing in the code.
Wow, he's really going for the money here.
Oh, and okay, they run up on the other side. He's distracted trying to spam through the smoke instead of just looking the other way, covering his 6. Cillian will kill him, and Madi has the flank. 2K for him.
Oh, that was
all right. SK Gaming avoid disaster.
Yeah, they do. That was a play that Tarek decided to make offhand because they needed the money, and sometimes going for that plant is good enough. Also, there being 17 seconds left, if there was much longer, he would have waited for Cutler to come around, but Cutler was kind of hanging out outside B trying to get information, and because their default failed, that's why that round fell apart. Now CLG are looking to buy again. Hayes hopefully has more than just a Glock here. Buys coming out late, maybe a little bit of miscommunication. And they will meet SK right out towards bathroom. Magic Boys gets that info on players crossing. Didn't see anything, but they actually crossed right after, so that might lead SK into believing that no one is going to bust out towards A super soon, but I think he will be in for a surprise, as it seems like they're aggressing bathrooms pretty quickly here.
Yeah, CLG able to get very, very far up mid without getting contested. You have Freeze still watching long, and actually if he decides to just push forward, he could be on a pretty quick flank coming through the bathrooms, although I imagine that will be watched. It's Magic's Boy and Pimp inside of the site.
Oh.
And, they're actually having technical support, so they're trying to stop the round.
I guess they're just asking, one player crashed mid-round, and, you know, it's actually on CLG to, I mean, they technically don't have to restart round. I mean, they don't actually have to restart the round. Once the round starts to play out, I mean, they, it's on CLG. If they wanted to restart, I guess they could, but I don't think that it's in the rules for them to do so.
Well, then we'll assume JDM wanted the restart, because I have no idea what that opping was. He missed about 4 shots in a row, and I'm kind of concerned because they are playing out the round, and SK are in a position where they can maybe actually still win it, and then what's going to happen is they called not live. Who knows? More drama. That's what the esports scene needs right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like...
Tim's trying to kill himself to show that they didn't want any part of this.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. Once the round has started, you finish the round and then you figure it out after, but you don't ask for... You can ask for a pause in the following round, but... You know, we've been over that. We've been over this. We've had in too many situations that have been very complicated. And it looks like we are going to actually go back to 13-7, so because CLG were kind enough to do that.
Yeah, it's not like anyone had really even taken any damage. There wasn't even like that much of the play shown. They didn't really even have to fight for that mid control that they were given. They just kind of were in positions and ready to go. And I don't think anything was really too given up on that round in terms of strategy from either team. So it seems very fair,
yep.
Especially since they called not live to go ahead and revert that. Also with what's on the line, right? This is an elimination match, so want to make sure it's the fairest possible.
Yeah, certainly. Like, no one wants to have bad blood in the situation, and it's not like, you know, they cause the keyboard to fail or anything like that, but those are just the logistics of the situation, and it seems like they're just going to match Medikit to 13-7, and they're going to start over. Both teams had a bye going on, and so equally as much going on for both of them.
And, well, I mean, I guess it was kind of 4v5, but it was looking pretty promising for CLG as they were trying to make their way up middle for that A take. So we know that they've got an A execute in store for us if they're given, you know, the space to pull it off.
Yeah. I wonder how we'll proceed in the next round if we're going to see CLG go for a different approach. We see SK go for a pretty similar approach towards bathrooms as we're seeing from CLG in these last few rounds, and it's just working out better for CLG in general. They're able to take control of it, whereas CLG were so dominant CT side, they weren't even letting anyone up. JDM was outside bathrooms. They had 2 at long. They had a really, really nice setup that was very consistent, sustainable way to win rounds over and over again, especially versus a, you know, like a 3-1-1 default that SK were doing. So...
Well, SK initially, we saw them actually get pretty aggressive out in the stairs.
Yeah,
but that didn't work a few rounds, so then they backed off. And I mean, from what I noted when I was watching SK, I was looking over some of their overpass games because I know it's one of the maps they prefer. They seem to really like that aggressive defense outside of A. I'm not seeing too much of it here. And then also, since we are reverting back to 13-7, and it was a slow round, are there any mind games you can play here? Like, all right, that round was slow. Maybe they're kind of expecting the same thing, and then you just put pedal to the metal, do something really quick.
Well, you know, with a default, it's something that you can do every round no matter what. I mean, they can see that you're in a default, but there is only so much you can do about it, and that's why defaults are, you know, a way to keep your sanity on T side. You don't have to constantly rush something new every single round. You can just go into your default, work map control, and, you know, and force a reaction out of SK or out of CLG. Or no, SK are on CT side now. So force a reaction out of them, and they can consistently do that. And even if you know that it's coming, there's only so much you can do about a default because it moves so slowly. Everything's being covered, and you're not really pressuring the bomb plant in any given moment until the late round. So for the first 20, 30 seconds, you might see something that happened just like we've been witnessing over and over again. And then the round just play out differently towards the end.
Well, we're going to find out now because we are back into it. 13-7 is your score. And keep in mind, it was CLG that got a full eco round win.
Yeah, they did.
And then SK are like, all right, that's bad. Hard reset kind of on the economy. They do what they can to force up, have a few rifles, some pistol armors. They get around, and then we go into that reset situation. So we're back. SK Gaming having won the last round with a defuse.
Yeah, a lot of plants so far in this half. Actually, 4 out of 6 rounds have been plants from CLG. So they've been able to give themselves the opportunity to constantly buy. But again, SK actually have the vast majority of the rounds here in the second half. And that speaks volumes for them. As we see a congregation towards stairs, Madi actually watching from outside of stairs, and then 2 players in here to try to isolate the player that is Fugly, who has been lurking and just trying to keep people honest in a spot that the rotations are so important. Stairs is, the difference between a 4 or 5 second rotation from A to B to like a 13, 14 second rotation all the way through spawn. It's a bit of a trek if you don't have stairs.
Exactly. And SK Gaming were quick to move out and take control, which is a little bit different than how they had their defense set up at the start of the round in question. But Hayes going to move through Monster, and Hayes actually not having that great of a performance here, at least on the scoreboard anyway, 8 and 12, and also kind of surprised to see Asilian, one of the younger players and up-and-comers, having a really, really poor game. And speaking of them, it's Hayes that kills Asilian and finds the second. So I guess he heard me talking about him. Gets 2 quick kills, but Pimp on the sandbags. Oh, there was someone behind him, JD. So it seemed like he almost took forever to get that first shot on the Pimp, but he does, and then a very quick one, a follow-up onto Magic's boy, so that leaves free Swift and Op. Look at the time, though! That kill might have just won it if he can hide out. They've got to chase him and kill him, and yeah, Cutler around the other side will get him. And wow, that round going down to the wire in CLG, 14-7, so, I mean, I guess if this was basketball, I'd say the ball don't lie.
Yeah.
I don't know what that equates to in Counter-Strike, to be honest.
I think that something was interesting was like, well, we see how much value map control has in the first place and why teams go to default so often. Well, SK having the rotation spot that was stairs and outside of stairs and short in general meant that like CLG could walk along B, get a couple of entries, but what was really, I think, a bit of a misstep from them was not watching short while the bomb was going down. That was like, they didn't have anyone going short. They didn't have info there. SK had all the info, but if a player had stayed alive in the site, maybe traded out Hayes 1-for-1 who got 2 ridiculous entries, then they might have had like a crossfire going on with short, and we would have seen map control be the reason that SK win that round. But even without it, walking long B can be really nice because you don't have to walk into a crossfire until you get up to short. Surprisingly enough, they didn't have a smoke for the plant, but that's another story. This round, it's going to be one of the last maybe for SK, who are on a force-up. I think are pretty much all inning here as they had momentum just stolen from them. A couple of Falmuses and
Triple
CZs.
stack.
And, whoa.
The triple stack, as I'm sure this was entirely intended to be used. But I love it. I love their creativity, and I'm so glad that people found a way for triple boost to work there on Overpass at Graffiti. And that's going to give them a kill, allow them to even it up. SK Gaming are trying to pull out all the stops. The problem with the triple boost, though, is now you know where everybody is. There has to be 3 people in that corner. They even pull another boost off of the plywood stack. So a double on the other side to peek over and find another kill. But now it's Tarek from upstairs trying to rain on their parade. He'll go down. Hayes gets one more. Now Pimp moving out of pit up the headshot ledge. Able to find 2 with the FAMAS. Living on 3 HP with the 3K. And going in for the defuse.
Wow, what an insane round from Pimp. Getting that kill off the triple boost and then getting 2 more kills with like 10 HP. What more can he do? What more can I do?
I love that from SK Gaming, though. Pulling out all the stops, go for that triple boost. Which I think, is it Penta that gets credit for that?
The triple boost, we saw a couple of people do it. I think NIP were one of them. It was Penta. Penta, I can imagine German teams love the boost, so yeah.
Some kind of unique things. But that's so funny, though, to do the triple boost over there, then everyone's kind of retreating out to the CT halls, and then to do the double on the other side over that wooden wall, get another one.
Mm-hmm.
So 8-14, SK Gaming stay alive, still fighting and still playing for the win. CLG have not been able to get out to match point, but they are spending quite a bit of money here. This is, I mean, in terms of their money, pretty much a full buy.
Yeah, I think the way that CLG see it is that they've just traded the last 4 rounds with SK. at 2 for 2, and if they do win this force up, then they pretty much win the whole game because SK's economy is down in the dumps just like theirs. Now they are going into this with like a pretty bad buy overall.
Marty's a vampire, he's just levitating in the corner. He surfed himself over to the end of the canal.
I wonder how well that'll work and if his accuracy is at full, being that high up. But that's pretty interesting. It'd be bad of them not to clear this, and it looked like he isn't. Oh no, he actually gets 2 kills for that. Tarek is the last person alive now after a stalwart B defense, and I think they tried to clear him.
They checked it.
Yeah, they checked it.
They saw toes. They're like, it's clear.
But you can bet the dead talk right now was, why didn't you clear that, or how did you not see him? Oh, Tarek in a 1v3, 27 kills. How fitting of Tarek would it be to win this round right here? Asilian very low. He's got bomb. He's in a pretty good spot. I mean, he can be afforded a kill, and they don't know where it is. So if he waits long enough, he causes the rotate. Can look for the first kill. Oh, but gets spotted instead. This is going to alert the rotations, and Asilian just going to spray him down right through his own smoke.
Yeah, time was getting... I mean, if there's more time available to him, he could have worked with it a bit more. He saw that man at graffiti. You kind of got to expect the other person has to be in that back pit all around the headshot ledge, so he could have went for that battle. But he had no time, so he last resort, throws that smoke, tries to get a plant down. And, well, it's not possible. 14-9 now. CLG, their money is broken. Taking an eco round here. Glocks, P250s, and at least a $200 investment in that flash. Maybe Fugly can get something done with that.
See a couple of buys coming out like a little bit delayed there, almost out of spawn. Just a couple of P250s because they're so much better than Glocks. I mean, the Glock is 3 dinks to the head, and with aim punch, that means most of the time you're almost never going to get killed. Magic's Boy is actually doing some damage, but it looks like he's going to go down to Glock's no, and that
Pimp saves him.
Yeah, that's you know, a P250 would have almost certainly locked up that kill, but instead we see him going down for free.
Cutler, oh, he's making noise. It doesn't seem like... Okay, now they've heard him as they turn their attention. That's Freeze playing on that sign with the scout, trying to peek out and go for some more. Cutler, okay, all right. He kills 1. At least 1 rebuy on the way back for SK Gaming, and they get into the double digits now. 10 rounds for them, 14 for CLG. I think effectively, though, the comeback is real now. Yeah,
it really is. You know, CLG have mentioned many times in the past that they've had trouble closing out games. It's not just an obvious problem, but one they accept and recognize for themselves. And we're seeing you know, SK start to heat up a little bit. I wouldn't say that on a lot of these rounds CLG, or that you couldn't count CLG out for them. Again, there are still a number of bomb plants that we have to look at and see that CLG have economically managed to keep themselves in and not have to have too many saves, which is a key factor in being able to close out a lot of T rounds. And now this long stack might be met by a long presence, though it will be JDM who might look into the eyes of Freeze staring over the sign.
Now CLG's T-side round here, the way they've started out, it looks exactly like what SK did pretty much every round and couldn't find, well, any rounds. And here's Magic's Boy with some strong long control, so the strats kind of hit heads there, and it looks like it's going to work out better for SK Gaming. Magic's Boy gets the first kill, and they're able to fall off long. Passive it at the sights. Pimp, he's certainly turned his game around. Top fragging now for his team at 20-17. That's where I expected him to be after his recent performances online in the last chance qualifiers to get here in the first place. But as I say it, Pimp shot down by Hayes, so evened up 4-on-4 with about 40 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, it was actually an enormous kill that opens up the map in a big way. Having all of long allows them to get really close to the site, and Cutler over at B leaves their options open. Freeze hitting a nice shot. I think that was on a jumping Tarek.
Yeah, they were trying to boost over onto the flowers instead of trying to hit the jump, which then whoever was there, Hayes tried for a second but couldn't quite manage, and now the bomb going to shift off the long back over. They had that stairs control still into the B's site. Fully blind Cutler can't win out against Asilian, and now Monty showing his presence at the headshot ledge. Fugly going to try to move forward, but now he's all alone. 1 versus 3. Monty gets another one. SK Gaming, 11 rounds.
The rotates, the communication, the shots are being hit by SK. They're looking very good. This is definitely a really good time for CLG to take a timeout. Once again, though, they do have a save on their hands. I mean, they could delay in other ways, but it's typically after you lose like a really big rifle round that you want to see what you can do in terms of talking about with your team. And sometimes, you know, we see these pauses just not only consist of a lot of like analytical, strategic talk about what to do next, but simply like just calming down and relaxing. And we saw CLG just go ham on CT side, and suddenly SK are within 3 rounds of tying up, winning multiple rounds in a row, retakes, pistol. And you know, that does, I think, for CLG, say more about themselves than it does say something about how well SK are gaming. Though SK might see it differently. You know, you can only help by getting in your own head.
I'm actually surprised that SK Gaming have been able to make the comeback, because it's not like they were losing the CT side and some of the rounds were close. Like after the first 5, maybe even 7 rounds, there was a total of like 6 kills on SK Gaming overall. Like nothing was close. They were being decimated.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really get much better. Some of the rounds were more contested throughout the end of the first half. SK Gaming started to get some kills and, you know, get the feel for the weapons. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just finally warmed up. But now on the CT side, yeah, everything is firing. They're looking pretty good.
It is really hard to say. It's such an intangible thing, you know, momentum, right, and comebacks, and also, you know, just choking, if that's even a factor in what's happening right now. Sometimes you put the rounds into perspective, you'll see like a good reason why CLG lost the round, or you know, a really nice play from SK that couldn't have been accounted for.
Cutler had some very key rounds when he was just in perfect positions.
Right. Yeah.
And then Tarek was always rotating over at the perfect time as well. To finish off rounds with, what did he end up going? Was it 15-0? I think that's where it ended, because I remember seeing 16-1, and it looks like they are ready to go. The power of the pause, CLG, well, they've got an eco round under their belt already. Maybe they can find another one that put some pistols into this and a couple flashes. So they're armed and dangerous. No armor, though, if they do happen to drop a rifle, armorless once they're wielding that.
Against CLG, one of the only rounds that they've made in this half was a full eco. I don't know, I wouldn't expect that to be possible once again. It happened because SK played in the sights and inside at A, and that happens all too often once you let terrorists get too close to you. But this time around, we see really more passive spots at B instead, and actually presence from CLG towards the same site. So Asilion might have a little bit of legwork to do, and staying alive will obviously be the most important part, but allowing the bomb to go down, excuse me, might be a really good thing for CLG.
Yeah, no dice though. As soon as that man gets into the site, he crosses the tape on the ground, gets a nade and a Molotov into the face, and then shot down. Pimp also started that round off by, I think it was killing Fugly. We saw his perspective, and Pimp was in and out of that super fast.
Yeah.
SK Gaming 12, CLG 14 rounds, within 2 now, and money back for CLG. And I mean, what can they do? This has got to be the round that they talked about.
Oh, let's see what JDM's play is here. I'm sure they'll focus the round around him as long as he has the op. They can't go too quickly with it, and they can't really progress without it. So here is a couple of players in stairs. This is kind of what CLG want, except they aren't peeking bathrooms. The smoke has come out to kind of disincentivize them from trying to push up, but here we have Fugly aggressing slowly with the op, or with the AK, excuse me.
Oh, Magic's boy is so incredibly blind, but so is Fugly. He looked right at it. Oh, okay. Smoke and a pop in the air. I thought that was fixed. As it will extinguish that Molotov. Fugly still holding out at the back of the stairs hallway. CT's, though, maintaining most of that control. Nade in. A little bit of damage done to Magic's boy, but still holds his position.
Yeah, a little bit of a guessing game going on from both teams. Who is going to aggress? What is the right time to peek? Can I catch them coming down this corridor where they don't have cover? Or are they sitting back waiting for us to aggress? And that is kind of the decisions that they're making. Fugly wins that trade versus Magic Boy. That's huge.
Oh,
but
no.
Pim comes out with the trade, actually trading for his teammate and getting another kill.
Yeah, JDM goes in and misses that first shot. Then they're both just standing there, and there was already no HP on Fugly because he took a dink, so he was on like 9 HP, and they go down. Pimp with 2 massive kills, and comes away with an op. Keep in mind, that was his former role on his last roster, so he'll be still dangerous with that. Freeze with his. Double ops and overpass also can be scary. Pimp will find his 3rd kill onto Cutler, who was lurking outside of B, and all of that round. Now it's up to Tarek, who, all right, starts things off with a kill. Now a second one, able to plant the bomb at least here. Or is he? Someone's flying through Monster. It's Pimp with the 4K.
Ooh, thought he had just enough time to plant, and yeah, Pimp with a really enormous round, you know, picking up the slack of his teammate in Stairs, getting the second kill, along with the trade. And now they pick up another op. I mean, CLG are going to be buying. It's not going to be great. Actually, they actually have enough money for 2 buys in a row, surprisingly enough. 2 full buys, that is. And whoa, Pimp just getting rid of that AK or that op. Wow, that's surprising. I feel like you could really put those to work, having one at each site. But instead are going to be continuing with the strategy that they have started with on CT side.
He's doing what he can, dodging so many flashes as he tries to take control of party middle, now pushing up into the bathrooms. Actually, Pimp is too. He wants to take this fight, almost caught reloading, tries to give a repeat. Hayes will take him down, finding the entry. 25 HP remaining. Cutler going to get another kill. I think that might have been at long, and Magic's boy just turns it around. No, Madi got that first kill, so each of them getting a piece of CLG. That'll turn it into a 3 versus 3. Bomb down more or less in the site. So now CLG, they've got to commit, and Fugly, he takes down Magic Boy from behind the truck. Madi rotating up at Stairs now, getting smoked off, and no gaps in that for him to exploit. Asilian at Bank, oh, caught on a switch. Might have been able to stop JDM from scooping up the bomb.
Not the ideal after plant spots here, or retake spots from SK, and Asilian does find a kill though, makes it a 2v2, and now will they progress? What are they going to do? We have both players from CLG in basically the ideal spots. I don't know if Cutler made his presence at long or not, but now he's falling off the bathrooms to fight this plant with Hazed, and it seems like, oh my goodness, absolutely no smokes on the board for SK, so they have a lot of work to do, and they got to move up really far to get anything but done. But Asilian actually finds a kill after getting that peek, and Cutler can stop this guy from defusing. He's only going to find a second kill and take him down and win the round. And we see the hype to the left of us from CLG. CLG as they tie it, or they get match point.
I mean, you want to give that peek to immediately try to get the trade, but there's no angle there. It's just a straight line. You peek right into a man who's already firing an AK, and then it's just an easy spray down. So CLG able to get away with that one. I was kind of concerned after, I think it was JDM that planted the bomb, died immediately on the sight box. He kind of peeked out. I was playing with the idea, did he have to peek out of the sight box? But he almost did, because he peeks out, and that allows the one man that's at long to retreat. Otherwise, he probably doesn't get out alive. So it was one or the other, and Cutler's able to close it out when it comes to the 1 versus 2, and JDM starts off this round with a headshot, but Freeze bringing it right back with a kill onto JDM.
Yeah, and it's just as you say, it can be subjective. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it's murky. It's hard to tell whether or not you make the right play there, but this might be the last round. It's hard to say. SK have a very good buy, 4v4. Bomb has walked out long B, and we have Asilian playing a spot, a really, really comfortable spot that you can play most of the rounds even if they know you're there, and he's looking for the headshot, can find a dink on one player. Fugly trades him though, and it looks like they have the site to themselves. The bomb is going to go down. Freeze has a nice spot in heaven, but is going to get smoked out, and as the plant comes out, 3 players on the retake from SK.
Yeah, and they've got a good amount of flashes, smokes to section things off, and incendiaries to clear it out. Although they have moved pretty far back, and yeah, Cutler also with one. So Cutler going to want to position that. Molotov, of course, onto the site, buy some more time. Tarek got a nice little boost here to get someone coming out of the window, and that's going to work out beautifully. Quickly want to drop off of that stack. Nades into the site, kind of a weird bounce. Not the angle he wanted. Here's Pimp moving up. Able to take down Freeze from Monster, trying to tap on the bomb, but that's going to be that. He can't get it done. They go up on the sandbags, and that's 16-13. CLG beating out SK Gaming, but at least SK Gaming, that first half was rough. They redeemed themselves, and CLG's, I mean, their T-side wasn't, you know, that much better, but they were able to get some more rounds, and their lead was so significant that they closed it out.
Yeah, you know, very, very sad for SK. A similar story yesterday. Close, you know, their emotions must have been running high, coming close to the comeback, but not ending up sealing it out, and CLG figuring out what to do differently. I mean, they just sped it up, it seemed like, right? Hitting B a little bit faster, hitting A a lot faster, and finding the trades, relying on their aim a little bit more, which is something that they have, you know,
exactly
in spades, right? They've got a bunch of aimers. Putting Haste to work, he wasn't getting a lot of kills until they sent him out to get a couple of fast entries, and then he ended up doing that no problem. So.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything that the analysts had talked about that they said they wanted to see. We've got, first of all, You have Tarek, who's showing up. We went 15-0 in the first half. Well, not even the first half. The first quarter, pretty much. He was 15-0. JDM was hitting shots. He was looking better. Cutler had some very key rounds and key moments when great positioning just won.
Yeah.
Sometimes the aim wasn't even there for him in that great positioning, but it didn't matter because he was just outplaying people, outmaneuvering them. And I think CLG, at least in the first half, brought what everyone wanted to see and what they lacked yesterday in their match against Spliced. And then, because, you know, everyone's already got a ton of kills going into the second half, it was a little harder to keep track of maybe who did the heavy lifting on the T side. But for that, you know, we brought an analysis desk. So, guys, take it away.
So then, you're always trying to make us laugh just before we go live. You get caught out
That's
that time.
Don't you talk about?
Unprofessional. You want to watch yourself in this current climate. Anyway, we are the analysis desk. Richard, Lewis, Moses, Duncan.
Well, I'll have you know, Richard, that I don't believe in climate change.
That's very good. I like it.
So one day I'll be president of America.
Yeah. Alarmingly. Now, look, CLG there, they got off to a great start. We were like, yep, hey, everything looks to be going well. They've obviously worked at the game. JDM showed up. Tarek, especially, after we gave him all that, you know, critique. We're like, oh, he's having a big game. He races out to the top of the frag charts, over 20 kills. Then, after a 12-3 half, it just looked like they were going to choke. I mean, just...
Here's the thing, though. When we were criticising Tarek, it was about his role that he plays on T-side. Well, here you saw, he had no impact on T-side. He was fantastic on CT side, where you play positionally, you play off your own skills. That's always what CT side's been around. But then, and obviously, the whole team was doing really well. JDM was back in the game, Cutler was doing quite well overall. But on T-side, they had nothing here. They were very, very poor, actually.
Well, we've got a replay of Tarek in the good old days, before he got to T-side, I think it is. And this is...
It's just the whole game again, boys, right? We're going to start here on the pistol round here. I'm expecting a strong round from CLG here. The 5 terrorists are coming in, down to the monster. They're coming, one Molotov.
Why are you doing it
Why
like
are they
it's a
actually
horse
showing us the whole round?
Because this is the whole
Tarek
point, to
into
see
a
how good
smoke.
Tarek is.
Will he get the first kill? One over the... he spots
Boom.
him, plays poker.
Boom.
1, 2, 3, cup of tea.
Are you all right, mate? Are you all right? But anyway, you can see here, Tarek...
Why not?
Just walk off stage, mate. I've done enough. I can't deal with this. Anyway,
Thorin's lost it.
You can see here that Tarek got off to some amazing kills right at the start and effectively won them that pistol round before it began. That replay brought to you by The Score. The commentary brought to you by a degenerate from the UK. But so it started out really good, and you were like, you know, Tarek's absolutely balling out of control. But you're right, as soon as we got to the T side, CLG just went off the boil. What were they doing wrong, Moses?
They just got bogged down. Their entries stopped working on the T side. They were very slow, very passive T side. Wasn't very aggressive. A couple of times just getting picked off. I mean, they never really, for a long time, they didn't really make it to any kind of a solid post-plant situation. They were just getting beat up in the early stages of the rounds. Thank God Cutler was there to win that 1-on-2, because that was a round, again, a 3-on-2 that turns into a 1-on-2, and thank God he saves the round.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They looked like they were playing scared on the T side.
Yep.
How does that happen? You're 12-3 ahead. All you've got to do is just, you know, stick to the plan and do what you're going to do. They started to really
that's the
clam
thing.
up.
It looked like they had a plan, and it didn't work, and then they had nowhere to go to after that. And they didn't feel very comfortable in any of the adjustments they were making. They didn't feel comfortable in what they were doing as a team. I mean, they just, it's like... You know, we all were like in the room, just like not surprised at all when this comeback was happening from SK. We're like, if there's any team to collapse like this, it's going to be CLG. And it almost seems like at this point they believe it too.
When CLG had the finish at Game Show, people were already, I was one of them, thinking, right, well, one of the changes that's obvious is what's freed Cutler up to be good individually again is he doesn't have to be the in-game leader. Peter's taken over in that respect.
Yep.
Judging game leaders, remember, if they're in the game, we always judge them based on how they do on the T side. We have to do it if the coach is the in-game leader as well. That this was a very poor T side overall. They didn't really show any variation. Like you're saying, they just tried similar things. When they didn't work, they didn't what plan B, plan C. It just didn't work at all.
Well, just before we you know, cut to commercial, I think we need to talk about SK Gaming. We're being critical on CLG. They did win the game. They are still in the tournament. Whereas we can't say the same about SK Gaming. Didn't really impress me at all here. And you know, it's a bit of heartbreak for Pimp. He played very well again in this game. They've got some good players on that roster, but things just don't seem to be working when it matters. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, both games, they just seem to come out flat. I mean, it's a start to these games. You could see their CT side had some promise to it, looked really, really good, but they just didn't give themselves any chance after that first half.
It was actually a similar story, yeah. They always got so far down in the first half that even little comebacks were never true comebacks. They were never in a position to actually win these games. And so I thought they could have come out in this group in second beforehand. They didn't look anything like the team that could have done that, though.
Well, thanks a lot for your thoughts, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, cup of tea. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to come back in 5 minutes with the next game, which is going to be Vexed versus Splice. Our Splice going to fly the flag for NA. Find out.
Why are they going to fly?
Don't do it. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Join us.